Hello everyone and welcome back to Pam is in the Garden. Today's video is about how to put the seeds in the seed tray and what type of medium or soil we use for our seed starting. So no further ado, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking face to face, but I will turn you around so I can show you my little setup that I had set up for y'all. All right, let me put my glasses on because, yeah. All righty, let me get you in position. All right, I said I was a gardener, not a video photographer, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm learning just like you are. All right, so right here is my seed trays that I had already set up ahead of time. In here is the cocoa core and the the cocoa core and the perlite. Is basically the basic setup. I use, you can purchase this in a bag. If you want more detail, I do have a video on that, so I'll pin it or link it somewhere in here. But it's just cocoa core and perlite. The perlite again is to help the aeration in the cocoa core so it won't coat so compact, and it allows air to flow through there. So this little tray right here, I explained in another video that I will link it to, is that it's a grocery store. These are for people who don't have this whole setup yet, like my beginners, but you can use what you have. And I bought some blueberries in here, but I use these to also do my seed starting too. Also, if you are not really have a lot of space to start some seeds, you can use these as well to maximize your space that you have. Okay, so what I'm gonna start in here, put in here, is some more of this. Right here is the tape because there were too many holes in here, and the dirt would have fell out. Too much dirt would have fell out, and water. So I put some freezer tape in here because I know it's food graded. Also, if you're going to be using containers to start your seeds or whatever, you have to make sure it's full food graded containers or plastic. Things that you buy in a grocery store that comes in containers, it has to be food graded to put food in containers like this. So I'm just going to put some soil in here real quick, like, show you the big chunk out of there. And I'm going to just not pat it down a little bit to get the air out of there. Not too much, but just a little bit. Okay, see there? I'm glad I covered that up because that's a lot of soil coming through there. So I'm going to hold on y'all, hold on, my onions in here. Now, if you want to start some onions now, like the big bulbing onions, you need to start them like today or as soon as possible, because big bulbing onions like Walla Wallas, they take 120 days to harvest. Bunching onions, on the other hand, I'm going to get it together. Bunching onions, on the other hand, they take, hold on. They take, come on out of here. I use these little plastic baggies so I don't lose no seeds. They take anywhere between 60 to 100 days. But you really don't have to wait that long. If you want some, and if you got them, some that's looking real good, you can just take them as is. But it's really up to your preference if you want to wait that long. I don't, because I, make a lot of salads and I cut a lot of those up in my salads. But anyway, back to this. Onion seeds. Onions are a very, very hearty vegetable. And the seeds are not all that big, if you can see them. And you can overseed. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Overseed onions. Because like I said, they can stay in this little container. Just spread it around a little bit. I'm going to put quite a few in here because I'm going to plant quite a few of them sprawled out in my garden. I have 2 gardens, and one in the smaller garden, I would call it like my Trinity garden. I grow sweet peppers in there, celery, and onions, and a few hot peppers. But the sweet peppers, bell peppers, onions, and celery is my Trinity garden because that's what we mostly use when we're cooking. We're going to pat that down just a little bit so the seeds can have contact with the soil. Okay. And then not that much, just a 1/2 inch on the top just to cover them, because they're so little and so fragile when they start to germinate. And if you have a lot of soil on top of them, they won't push through. I mean, they're real tiny. I mean, thin like stick likes. I'll show you. Yeah, I think that'll do it right there. And then we're just going to pat that down. So anytime you do any seeding, always moist your soil. Let me get this out the way. Moist your soil. Okay, can everybody see that? On top. Just a little squirt bottle, nothing too heavy. You don't want to disturb the seeds and wash them away. And that's it. I'm not going to use any fertilizer right now. Maybe in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that's it. I think that's enough. And so the soil is already kind of moist, but I'll go back in and damp it. And I'll close this until I see a few of them start popping through the dirt, and then I'll lift the lid up, and that's it. Put it under my grow lights, which is another video is coming up under my grow lights. So that's how you use your homemade containers. But that's all right. That is okay. I'm not laughing at you. We have to make it. We got to fake it till we make it, baby. And that right there. So, as well as these, same thing, concept. Put your dirt in there. Okay. And get some of that air out of there. You want to pat that down. Not too hard, or else nothing will go in there. We just want to just pack it down a little bit. And if need be, put a little bit more in there. Depending on what you're growing. You never want to go too far up. Plant your seeds in there and then add a little bit more dirt in there. Okay. So, right here. Let me see if I can get y'all to... Yeah. I think y'all can see that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Right here is my seed starting tray. 10 per tray. And I have my seed labels there. I'm not going to use those because I always lose those before I can even put anything out. And really, I I have to wait until the food come up in order for me to identify it. So what I normally do is use my tape, the same tape that I use here, or some masking tape on the outside or each side to let me know what it is. I put the variety of the vegetable. I put an S for seed start, and I put today's date, which is 2/11. So let's get cracking. So the first one is no, not that one. Ruby Sales. Ruby Sales. Right here. And then they're kind of little. As you can see, they're real small. Does it take? So for each sale, you probably should put maybe 2 seeds if you can. It's a little hard, but if you drop in 3 or 4, that's okay. I just want you guys to see that. See how tiny they are. So my aim is 2 per sale. And if it's a little bit more, I'll go back through there and thin them out. And that's it. That's all I'm going to put in there. And it's really simple. You could do it. It is really, really simple. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So that's the red cells, and that's a loose leaf. It's not a heading cabbage like your iceberg or your romaine. They're just loose leaf, and I go through there and I pick out the best ones off of that little patch. And again, I'm just going to put maybe an inch, less than an inch of soil on top to cover them. And within 7 to 14 days, they'll be popping up. And then 3 or 4 weeks after that, they'll be ready to go out, plant outside, weather permitting. So, yeah, just spread that out, lightly pat it in so it can have contact with the soil, like so. And that's it. And then again, you take the squirt bottle. Nothing fancy, just a regular old squirt I got from the dollar store. Moisten the top. Not to drown it. We don't want to disturb the seeds too much, but we got to give them moisture. So every 2 to 3 days, you have to come on top and come out, water or mist it so it can stay moist on top. You never want your soil to dry out. Never want your soil. So to check the whole thing, they use the finger method. So if you go down an inch and then come back up and you don't have anything on your finger, then that's dry. It's very dry. Or you could pick the tray up, and if it's like super duper light, you got to put in some water. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick. And what I do with my trays or whatever, I bottom water. I don't go through there with a watering can in top water. I bottom water. So what I do, I get a container, which I do. I have like another one of these, so I could fit a lot of them in there at one time when it's time for me to water. And I put it about halfway up, and then I'll take the containers and I'll sit them over in that water, and you'll be able to see the water wicking up in there. It's wicking from the bottom to hit the roots. And you just leave it in there for about maybe 10 minutes, depending on how many you got in there. 10 minutes. And when you start seeing the top of the soil turn darker, then you will know that's enough. And you just take it out, and that's it. No fuss, no muss. So as you can see over here, I don't know if you can see it really good, but over here it's a little bit drier on top. What I spritz these, because I knew I wasn't going to come over here like that one. Spritz these over here so they're a little darker on top. But once they start drying out, the 1 or 2 inches down, immediately start misting. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is Ruby, and she also is a loose leaf. And ooh, Miss Ruby is okay. And she's a loose leaf. Now, I know the question is coming up because a couple of people have asked me what's the difference between a hybrid and an heirloom. And the best way for me to explain that to you without being too technical, an heirloom is like heirloom seeds are like a bunch of little seeds that come off the mother plant, like the tree of life. And the tree has a bunch of seeds. And this tree keep producing the same seeds. They're going to have the same genetic makeup. They're going to bear the same fruit. They're going to grow at the same time for generations to come. So it's like your family. You know, you have your great-great-grandparents, and then your parents, grandparents, and parents and everything. Even though we come from different trees, that DNA from your parents is the same. And it's going to go all the way back to your great-great-grandparents. Hybrid, on the other hand, is you might see a hybrid F1 or hybrid F2. That means that they've genetically put this seed with that seed. They mix this tree, this breed or variety with that variety. So it's a hybrid. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with them at all, because I got plenty of hybrid stuff. The only thing is with heirloom seeds, when you can collect those seeds and it's still going to be the same genetic makeup. Hybrid seeds, you can't. It's not going to be the same. It may flower and give you seeds, but it's not going to be the same thing. If it does grow into a flower or whatever, it's going to be at its weakest link. It's not going to have all that good stuff in it. As far as heirloom seeds, it's going to be the same thing. This time next year, if I save these seeds from this spring and save the seeds from this batch and use them next summer, same deal. I'm going to get the same flavor. I'm going to get the same color. I'm going to get the same taste. I'm going to get the same because it's coming from that mother tree. The hybrid, I can't get that. It's a shame because, like I said, there's a lot of good hybrid vegetables out there, but it is what it is, y'all. So I just wanted to clear that up. You know, what's the difference between an heirloom and a hybrid? And just we're going to put, oh, There's too many in there. I'm just going to put a few in her. And that's it. Kind of spread them out because they're all in bunches. Okay, let me put these back real quick and we're going to top that off. There we go. All right. All right. I'm not going to keep up too much of your time today. So I will be finished this, because I have to do it because I'm running late. Not really late, but falling behind. So I'm just going to cover these up with a little bit of soil. And that's that. And get my little spatula thing here. And spread that out and pack it down, just not too hard, just so the soil can make contact with the seeds. And that's that. Cover it up. Alrighty. And get my water. Give it a little spritz. Now we doing something. All right. So, and that's it right there. So in between 7 to 10 days, I should be seeing something peeking up out of there. The first leaves, not the true leaves, but the first leaves. And I'll keep you updated on that. But in the meantime, in between time, follow along with the, you can put these on the grow lights. I have to put these on the grow lights right now. Like I said, the next video is on my grow light system. And explaining what type of grow lights that you need to use. I'm all for being economical. I'm all for, use what you have. I do have a more advanced system, but it took me 8 years to get to that point. So, but for beginners, you just use what you have. But I'm going to help you how to make a good choice on finding the right light to help you out. But if not, if you have a window that's facing south right now, you could put these in the window and they'll still pop up. Long as they're in a room where they can germinate temperatures. Your house is right about, well, here I keep my house anywhere between 68 to 71. That's a good germinating temperature for them. Other than that, they can take a frost, they can take a freeze, depending on the variety. You just have to cover them up. But they are a cool weather vegetable. It's cold right now. And like I said, it's real pretty now, but I just looked at the weather and we went from 50s to 60s. It was 60 degrees yesterday in February in Michigan. So, yeah. And that's that. So I want you to go ahead and get your seeds, get your pots and things together, and drop me a comment down there. Let me get myself together over here. Hold on. Oh, this thing. Okay. All right. Okay. Drop me a comment, shoot me some pictures or whatever. Go on my Facebook page, Pam is in the garden, to comment on there. And also, there's a lot of people on there that can help you with any type of questions that you might have. And that's it. So, like and subscribe on my channel. And I'll have that lighting video up for you soon. And everybody have a blessed and happy day. Let's grow something. Bye.